Welcome to the Amy Noel on Dyslexia YouTube channel. Happy Dyslexia Awareness Month! Dyslexia is going red in October. Keep on raising awareness about what dyslexia is and how to effectively teach children with dyslexia, as well as all things dyslexia. I told my boys that we had to wear red today because it's Dyslexia Awareness Day, and Jacob and Michael got excited and said they wanted shirts that actually said dyslexia on them. I've seen some on the internet. I thought that was pretty cool. In this video, I'm celebrating that my channel got to 500 subscribers. I want to share a story with you that I recently shared on Gibby Jasper's dyslexia podcast called Dyslexia is My Superpower. I'll put a link to that in the description. This story is about my worst experience in an IEP meeting. Jacob was in 4th grade, Michael was in 3rd, and Jefferson was starting 1st grade. It was near the beginning of the school year. Jacob had had an IEP for about going on 5 years, since the middle of kindergarten, and Michael for a year. I had been really busy the first few years of Jacob's elementary school education with babies and toddlers. Daniel was still a toddler at home. It occurred to me, and I think because I had a little bit more time to think about it, that Jacob was still not making progress. Every time I went to an IEP meeting, they said he's made progress on his goals, but I wasn't seeing it in his reading. He was still at a 1st grade reading level. So I started to research dyslexia, and I hadn't had a whole lot of time to do that before, but at this point I just really got concerned. I watched a whole bunch of videos about dyslexia, and I realized that they needed different things from the school. So I requested the meeting. I typed out all of my concerns and all the things I wanted to talk about. I showed up with a typed out list of all my concerns with the meeting's date at the top, and the caseworker running the IEP meeting said, well, Mrs. Noel has her own agenda, and I didn't realize I had done anything wrong. I had called the meeting and these were my concerns. So note to parents, I should have put parents' concerns at the top of that, because there is a time in the IEP meeting to talk about the parents' concerns. I didn't know anything about special education laws or routines, even though I had been going to the IEP meetings for years. I think this was the first time that I really was raising concerns and had a problem with the school, whereas before I trusted them. I thought that they knew what they were doing, and I don't think that they knew what they were doing. A lot of schools still don't know how to effectively help students with dyslexia. We started going through my list of concerns, and everything I asked for, they had a problem with. They needed data, or they came back with some kind of reason why they couldn't offer it. And so I was going through the things on my list. I can't remember what they all were, but I know that I was talking about assistive technology, because that was one of the things that I had recently learned about in the videos, how important assistive technology is for dyslexic students and what a difference it can make on through college. I wanted my kids to be able to use speech to text, and I made a whole video about that, because schools usually have concerns when parents ask for speech to text for their dyslexic students. So the principal and I are going back and forth. Neither of us are really validating the other's concerns or trying to find out more information. So basically we're not communicating well. I was getting more and more emotional. I have anxiety. Now I take a great herbal tincture that helps me a lot. I'll put the link to it below. I got worked up, and finally I yelled, "They think they're stupid, but they're not!" And I slammed my hand on the table so hard, I actually broke this bone below my pinky. We had to table the meeting because, of course, I was out of control. I've had much better IEP meetings since then. I read a book called Crucial Conversations that taught me a lot of principles about good communication. I can put the link to that in the video too, because I also think that book saved my marriage. This was an interesting story to tell, but if I could pull a moral out of it, I would say the moral is, if you're not satisfied with what the school is willing to offer, you need to get help from an advocate if you can afford it. Get advice from an advocate if you can't afford it. And I will put links to how to contact advocates in the description below. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos.